Welcome to another episode of MoloMolo Tech Talks. My name is Anele and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Dr. PK.
Hello.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you for another episode and our last episode for the year, where we're going to be talking about the year in reflection in technology, right? We're going to be talking about something that has been a buzzword this entire year. And in terms of just wrapping up this whole year, we want to talk about artificial intelligence and the impact that it's made in your life. But more than just the impact it's made in its life, how has it replaced your usual working style or the way that you do things? And what can we look forward to in 2024 with this kind of thinking? So, for example, Dr. PK, for me, I know that AI feels like my second brain. I feel like, you know what, if I'm going to be thinking about something, a quick response I want to send to someone, I go straight to my chat GPT and my life is just made so much easier. But I can feel this lack of creativity, and this desire for more critical thinking. And for me, I think that's the one thing I can say
Mhm.
AI or rather a skill I've stopped practicing because AI has been in the picture for me in 2025. What about you?
Yeah. Man. Oh man, I think this list is long, but I think I'll start with just way the same as you, but more on the gut feeling side of things. And we can unpack it as we get into it. But the gut feeling is what I think I'm losing with using more and more AI. And we can definitely unpack it. It is scary to think about it, and I'll explain why. But I am seeing a lot more of my gut feeling, sixth sense, intuition,
Yeah.
kind of going away or being wasted away, or even doubting whether I still have it, which is scary. So we can definitely unpack it, but that's in a nutshell. That's where what I'm seeing regarding this topic.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was about to say, I think that intuition, that's that natural feeling, that gut feel, right? What some of us like to call discernment as well, and which plays a
Mm.
huge role, especially in a workspace, in a leadership role. How do we actually have a sense of everything around us when everything is already kind of thought through, And I think for me, that's one of the things. And of course, things like such as basic research in terms of the topics that we work on at work, and just in terms of the topic of discussion, in terms of the work and the specializations that we're in, which is also another very incredible art, the art of research, which I think is slowly
Yeah.
being lost through artificial intelligence and the fact that there's so much data. It's helpful in most cases, but what happens to our critical thinking, right? Our ability to say, okay, this is how I'm going to research this topic. These are the priorities I'm going to put together, and this is the outcome I'm going to have. And I think a sense of achievement in terms of critical thinking and ownership of thinking for me is one of those things we need to start looking forward to again in 2024. And I think, sorry, in 2026. And I think another thing that has been a huge highlight this year is also the importance of emotional well-being in the age of tech and AI as well. And I think I see a huge shift and focus on that as well in the new year. How much pressure and burnouts, like we spoke about last week,
Mhm.
is going to be a topic for the following year. What do you think we can look forward to in the next 12 to 13 months, or I guess the next year, in terms
Yeah.
of tech,
Yeah.
or rather AI ways of doing things that we can focus more on, but not necessarily the things that have taken away from our abilities in 2025.
Well, I think how I'm going to answer this is just kind of looking back a little bit on 2025, at least on a personal level. 2025 was man, in Germany, and for those who live in Munich, Germany, was such a shape shifting landscape in tech. A huge company with a huge potential. The company I was working for, Lilium, got into insolvency. Almost, I would say, close to 2,000 professionals were affected. Their families, 90% of those were foreign nationals. That's including me. And it was just chaos. Not
Yeah.
only that, a competitor of theirs also went through insolvency, and it was a cascading effect across the tech space where everybody, even the government got involved. And I think how I connect the dot in terms of AI was, now how does one now leverage the fact that you have to figure out things on your own. You have to figure out language barrier to sort out your unemployment benefits. You have to figure out, translation between German and English,
Yeah.
and AI played a huge part to that. Played a huge part. Um, I think that the one thing that I do remember very clearly was just how incredibly difficult it was to navigate the unemployment agency's kind of rhetoric on using paper-based methods to get your unemployment, and just how AI really helped in even kind of a rebuttal system to say no, but this is actually not how it's supposed to be, and
Mm-hmm.
people really being emboldened by the use of AI to fight for their rights in a way.
Yeah.
So I think when I think of kind of the trends going into 2026, I think there is an emboldenment culture with AI. I think that one like myself has taken on creating a new concept with MoloMolo Tech and the business model all by myself, and I would not have done it without AI. It's that is clear cut. There is no way I would have done it.
Yeah.
The business model, the marketing, the sales plans, and you name it, the strategy and so forth. The even the back and forth with my brain with AI in the loop would not have been possible, for sure. Now, of course, having said that, I did mention kind of going to 2026, and some of the things that I feel like you lose because of this is this intrinsic gut feeling of, I think AI has made us very bold but very superficial. It's like it's like it's like you think you know, but you actually don't know.
Yeah.
you you think you know. AI
Yeah.
says it's a good idea,
Yeah.
but you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah. Because
because
you
you are
haven't
trusting
taken the
AI.
journey, right? Which is such an
Exactly.
important step in getting to the last. Yeah.
Exactly. So the I think we call it the school of hard knocks. Life gives you a gut feeling. Life gives you an understanding that this is probably not a good idea because I can see X, Y, and Z that I've seen before. But
Mm.
if all your data mining, which is life, is this is what life experience is about, is only
Mm.
with a platform that you're typing and getting really good, yes, it's a good idea every time
Mm.
you type, man, you are inflated. That brain of yours is so inflated, you have no
Mm.
cooking clue what's coming your way.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm seeing in 2026. I'm seeing a lot of bubbles bursting. I'm seeing a lot of companies that have made millions out of AI bursting.
Sure.
I think that the true values of any company will start rising through the humanity that they've built over the years. I think it will become more valuable. But at the same time, I think the true use of AI will also surface. That's
Yeah.
what I think. I do
Yeah.
think that. but at the same time, it's going to be quite interesting 2026 because I do think it will still have a lot of different news kind of bubbling. I mean, there's a huge talk about AI and defense in Europe with the war with Ukraine. There's still a lot of bubbles to be formed, and a lot of them will burst. So that's my view on what has happened and what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a matter of of a balancing act, right? And I like how
Hmm.
it's something that we're so conscious of that we really need to manage this relationship between what's human and what's AI, and not forget what's really important and what can be replaced, and how AI can become an aid to the things that we want to do. And I think for me, for 2026, I would say definitely what's going to be coming more in the forefront and what's going to be more important is definitely basic research, the ability to think critically on your own.
Hmm.
I think, in as much as there's a lot of AI to assist, there's also a lot of critical thinking that's still needed. And I think it's still important. It's still a great investment that companies make in human beings, because that critical thinking is important. It comes from, our creativity, our nature, the way that we see things purely without the assist of data. And for me, I feel like, we don't need to be recycling data. We need to be coming up with new ideas and critical thinking that really speaks to a human level. I think number
Yeah.
one. Number two, another important thing for me is the ability to write, right? To write things from scratch. And as a trained journalist, it's something that I know I have lost the art in, because it's so easy to input a lot of the information I need to input onto ChatGPT, which really brings in a lot of questions about the field of comms, for example, and the importance of writing things from scratch using creative thinking, but also the ability to capture the brand and personality of the organization that you are representing in your writing and in your capturing, which cannot be captured through AI. AI will give you a completely different language, a completely different tone. And I think it's very important for writers in particular to be very aware of those kinds of trends. And of course, memory and note taking. Our brains are very
Hmm.
important. And I think if we keep them in practice as the muscle that they are, um, it definitely helps with increasing our memory and just using our brains. So I wouldn't want to archive everything in AI, or to have AI replace my ability to remember things,
Yeah.
because I can't think through them. I can only refer to what I've. So yeah, I think for me on a personal level, it's also very important. And of course, just the basic human touch of every workspace. I think we need to reflect on the episodes that we've had on personal branding, on communication, on what it means to actually grow strong teams by still capturing human value that can
Yeah.
then help teams to perform better.
No, I agree. I think 2025 has been an amazing year. Lots of firsts, both on a personal level, on a kind of a macro level. I think the what you said is really at the core of the evolve, how AI will evolve and how we will evolve along with it. um AI is evolving. There is no doubt about it. And I think those who think AI is just chat GPT are completely and utterly misled. AI is evolving in what we call, social engineering. This for me is the most scariest part, where I don't know if you've seen, there is a specific show on Netflix. I think it's the social dilemma, or the social something, I can't remember. And it was really all about Facebook and the likes, Google being part of it, where you had the same profession that was used to design gambling machines were now used to design our apps.
Sure.
The same type of training regarding social engineering for gambling machines was now used to design apps, and still is today. Now imagine, not imagine, now what is happening is those specific engineers are now using clones, AI clones, to amplify that.
Sure.
So if you're not aware that what you're actually seeing, oh no, there's Copilot now in your Microsoft, amazing, please use it. That is
Yeah.
social engineering for you to just use the application even more. Just that in this case, it's seen as a helper because it is an AI based that which we all naturally think is the next step or the next
Mm.
evolution of the app. But this was social engineered now by AI itself.
Sure.
And when you think about it that way, you realize that there is a huge fight in the background for our attention. There's a huge fight. Attention now is the new
Mm.
currency.
It's the new economy.
And of course, more importantly, the very thing that we think is the next evolution is the one designing you to make that choice.
Mm.
That is the crux of it. So that
Yeah.
is where I'm saying we are doomed for those who are not aware. For those
Yeah.
who are absolutely blinded towards those
Mm.
mechanics running in the background.
Mm. Yeah.
That is what's happening. And unfortunately, it is scary. That is the scary part, unfortunately.
Yeah, as the Gen Zs would say, we're cooked, right? We're cooked, but I'm so happy that we've been able to talk about this and that we also have an amazing lineup for 2026 where we'll be discussing a lot more of these tech and philosophical, but also leadership and empowerment topics that really get us thinking and bring us back down to earth in terms of
Hmm.
how we engage with technology for business and innovation, but also how we engage with each other as human beings in the face of innovation and convenience and yeah, and a whole lot of other things. So as we come towards the end of our show, from myself, I'm wishing you an amazing festive season. Stay safe and blessings to everybody's family. And yeah, it's been an amazing series this year and looking forward to an amazing 2026. And
Oh
from my
wow,
co-host,
Dr. PK. That's amazing, Anele. I just think about just how amazing again this has been to have you on the show. Really, really exciting for 2026, Anele. Tech Talk is here to stay. So that is definitely a stamp of approval from my side. So again, Anele, happy 25 Christmas, and let's see each other again next year.
yay!
All right, guys.
Bye,
See you.
everyone.
Bye bye.